Don't allow yourself to be intimidated or harassed. I've received numerous complaints from the countryside where people are being frog-marched into supporting ZANU-PF, forced to buy ZANU-PF, to join cell structures by ZANU-PF. I've received reports across the whole country where people are being told that if you don't support ZANU-PF, you lose your farm, you lose your property, you lose your mining claim. That's all acts of banditry, criminal conduct by ZANU-PF. But of course, we know ZANU-PF has never won an election. In fact, they don't prepare to win elections, they prepare to rig them. But the thing is that this year, we are also preparing to stop them. And that's why I said this is the year to celebrate our victory. We will not accept the mistakes of 2018 or prior. We will not accept this thing of just accepting us to be cheated, deceived, and people think that is normal. It can't be normal when you cheat people. It can't be normal when you're a criminal. It can't be normal when you try to subvert the will of the people. And of course, people say, but where's your plan? Who would go to Russia or Ukraine that are in a war to say, please, Russia, give us your plan against Ukraine, or Ukraine, give us... It's a war situation. At times, in a war situation, you don't necessarily need to herald or address in a press conference what your next strategic move is. We have strategies, we have plans, and we will defeat all these oppressors. Let me say that over the past 12 months, we have had the Mgwazo program, which is a program of action. It has successfully reached all the corners of our country. We have now located ourselves permanently in footprint in every community, in every hamlet, every village, even every homestead, and of course, in all the streets across the country. The citizen movement is a new way of doing politics. New, fresh, radical, disruptive, and of course, discomforting to the opponent. They were used to targeting certain individuals, buy them, allege splits. So we've said, fine, you can buy your own people, but they know nothing. We have a new strategy. Now we are moving in a difficult way. We walk backwards. We walk backwards. And they don't know what we are doing. Isindebele sithi hayi thina siyahamba nyovane. Siyahamba nyovane, we are so sophisticated. You don't expect us to do what you expect us to do. And that's why our opponents are jittery and in sixes and sevens. And a lot of people think that ZANU-PF's conduct is an act of invisibility and indomitability. No, they are showing that they are on the back foot. And ZANU-PF is panicking. That is why they are doing all sorts of things. Look at their shenanigans through ZEC. Look at their shenanigans in the communities, banning our rallies. To date, they've banned over 68 of our rallies. Why? Because they know that we are the only game in town. We are the citizen movement, the transformation movement, the happiness movement, a freedom movement. We are the people who are leading the charge to locate back the citizens at the center, so that citizens are happy again, so that we are free again, so that we are dignified again, so that we are able to prosper again as a people, so that we are proud and great again. And this journey is going to be completed. We want our police to be back to the citizens, our courts to be back to the citizens, our law and our politics to be back to the citizens, policies to be defined by the citizens, parliament to be centered around the citizens, politicians to report, be accountable and be responsible to the citizens. Leaders must account and be responsible. Zimbabwe needs new leaders, and we are the leaders. We are the new direction. We are the new ideas. Let me say that the vision for us is very clear. Our vision is to realize a new and great Zimbabwe in our lifetime. A new republic, a citizen republic, where people are united around one vision as a nation, as a people. United in focus, built on what I call the hexagon of nation building. What is this hexagon of nation building? 7 key priorities we are going to immediately put in place to build back a nation so that we move from just being a country or a geographical constellation to being a people that are united in vision, in direction, and in focus. We need to restore freedom and happiness. We need to restore peace. We need to restore prosperity, unity, love, reconciliation, forgiveness, and unity. For us to be able to do this, we need to embark on a mission of transformation. That's why we say into Tuko Zimbabwe, Shanduko Zimbabwe. This is the word, this is the gospel, this is the chorus across the whole country, in all the four corners, in all the languages, the tribes, and the regions of our country. They all understand that we need to arise. Sumuka Zimbabwe, Sumuka. Pakama Zimbabwe, Pakama. We need to build. Yaka Zimbabwe, Yaka. Waka, to transform and to change. But for us to be able to change, we must be able to register people to vote and vote, because we believe in electoral politics. That's why we have not taken up guns to go to neighboring countries to wage a war against this dictatorship. Because ours is a democratic struggle. Ours is a peaceful and non-violent struggle, even against all odds and against difficulties we encounter. We aim as a central idea to put citizens first and at the center. We have said our target this year is to make sure that we win big. That's our strategy. We have to win big. Some are saying, but if we vote, it doesn't make a difference. It does make a difference. When we have you participating, we are going to have a wide margin. A wide margin cannot be deceived or cheated or tricked. When we vote in our large numbers, we'll be able then to dominate and make that difference. Yes, we need 6 million votes from you, the citizens. We need a 2/3 majority. If we have not done so well, we must at least have a majority in parliament and be able to choose a speaker. All our urban councils, we have to sweep, as we have always done before. In the rural district councils, we are aiming to have a majority, not to sweep, because we know that it might actually not be an attainable objective. Allow me to say, as I outline the major pillars of our Agenda 2023, which I'm about to do, I have to touch on the circumstances that are obtaining in terms of our economy. But I'm not going to do a lot of narration of the challenges that we have encountered, because you all know them. You are evidence and testimony to the challenges that we have. I'll just briefly touch on the economic outlook to indicate the story. Our economic situation is characterized by runaway inflation caused by a runaway national budget. Look at how we have moved from 8.1 billion in 2019 to 4.5 trillion in 2023. That is a record increase of a budget. Almost, you would say, 55,456% in 5 years. That's encyclopedic. That has never been heard or seen. But that is what this current government is capable of doing. Scoring high in all negatives. The highest inflation rate in the country, that is what they are known for. The highest corruption in the country, that in the world, that is what they are known for. Contrary to what Mr. Mtuli always says, Zvakarongeka, the Zvakarongeka mantra has been thrown off guard and off balance. You have seen the massive debt trap that we have in this country. We've risen from, in just 2018, 10 billion to where we are right now, almost 18.73 billion. Poverty has even increased. If you look at 2018, we were standing at about 29%. Now it's 49% of the population that are in extreme poverty. 7.5 million people, to be specific, up from 4.4 million people in December 2018. Now, these are just statistics to indicate how we have gone low, how we have gone south. With respect to social indicators and social ills, the massive wage compression, the workers are now in a bracket of poverty. Look at the teachers. In 2018, they were getting about 540. Right now, they get almost 200 US dollars. And of course, some RTGS. But you can see that the education sector is in the graveyard. You can see that we have death traps even in the hospitals. Hospitals have no adequate staff, no medicine. The sector has been hit by massive brain drain. We are losing our teachers, we are losing our nurses. In fact, Zimbabwe has become a factory of the best brains. but we have also become a shell of those brains because we are having a net loss of the brains. Look at the drug problem. Our young citizens are severely affected by the problem of drugs. Drugs are only but a symptom of a governance problem, a deeper problem. And we must address this serious systemic problem of poverty and a broken nation, a dysfunctional society, and that is what we are seeing. But there are also problems that are exacerbated by the head, by the leadership. A fish rots from the head. We know that the drug cartels are being supported, camouflaged, and even covered, fueled and supported by those who are in leadership. And they must be exposed. Corruption has become endemic, as you know. 1.8 billion is lost annually through illicit financial flows. 1.2 billion is lost through corruption in ministries and enterprises within government. Smuggling has become a national religion and a national practice. If you look at it, we just combine what we are losing through illicit financial flows and corruption. It's almost 2.8 billion. It's enough to service our debt. It's enough to make sure that we are able to get out of this current cycle. We are able to then deal with the fundamental social ills that we continue to face. In terms of the nation, you are aware of the human rights situation in the country. Our situation is worsened. Look at the arrest of our brother Job Sikala. He's almost a year in prison without bail. That tells you that the nation is rotten. He committed no offense. Sikala is innocent, but they've already judged him guilty without any trial. It tells you how sick we are. And I may want to tell the nation that I've even made the effort to write several to Mr. Mnangagwa to say, deal with this Sikala issue. It's embarrassing us internationally and nationally. He has chosen not to respond. But I've written to him. I wrote to him private conversations to indicate to him what the issues are, but he has ignored them. I've done my bit, and I continue to do more, particularly in the context of reaching out and making sure that we place the issues on the table. You are also aware that in terms of infrastructure, the roads in the countryside are impassable. I don't know how people are going to even campaign, because you can't even travel on these roads. Most of the roads are totally dilapidated and finished, impossible and impassable. We also see the increase in the harassment of those in opposition. Our meetings being banned, our rallies being cancelled, freedom of press and freedom of association being muzzled. We've also seen across the whole country the partisan and illegal criminal conduct of trying to populate our national institutions with ZANU-PF propaganda. I get reports every day from those who are serving in our uniformed forces that they are getting what is called the civic education program, which program is trying to teach those institutions party issues. Zimbabwe is bigger than any political party. Our soldiers, our police, our intelligence services are not supposed to be subjected to partisan propaganda. They are not supposed to serve a political party. They are national institutions, and we want to maintain their integrity as such. Let me therefore say, having said that, and I've just touched this in passing in a synopsis, we will give you a detailed statement. The road to victory this year is signposted on 5 critical pillars. Number one pillar is predicating upon what we call running a citizens' campaign. A lot of you would expect us to run a campaign by a political party. We are not a political party, we are a citizens' movement. Every citizen is going to play a role. Whether you are in ZANU-PF or in CCC, you have to play a role in the citizen movement to make sure that we reclaim our country. What I like about the hunger we are facing is that it doesn't affect a political party. No stomach carries a card. We are all affected equally. School fees does not require a political card. Hospitals do not ask for a political card. We all face the same problems, and therefore it must be a citizen campaign It's now a situation of the citizens against their oppressors, a citizens against their hardships, against their poverty, against their people who are depriving them of happiness. It has to be a citizen-driven campaign, a citizen-centered campaign, giving oxygen to our philosophy, citizens first, and citizens at the center. By the citizens, from the citizens, for the citizens, and of course, of the citizens. This year we are going to see citizen power more active. A lot of you have been asking, oh yes, when are we going to do this and that? Wait, be active, be involved. We are going to give the signal to you as the citizens when the moment arises to make sure that you lead the change, you lead the charge, and you become part of the change that we want to see. Do the change and be the change. That is our call, that is our charge to you. It's your campaign, it's a citizens' campaign. We are going to build it around a citizen project where you are the architects, where you are the caretakers, where you are the agents, where you are the protagonists and the chief executives of this program. We don't accept you as citizens to be spectators or to be bystanders. Be the drivers. This is a call to action. We want you to perform your role, register to vote, participate in programs, participate in actions, contribute something. We need your support. Let's build the networks. Let's build advocates. Let's grow together. Let's develop our communities. Let's make sure that we build the citizen structures, which is the strongest structure and the structure that is going to deliver victory and change. Yes, there are times when we don't say certain things. We've called it strategic ambiguity. But those who are part of us and those who should know what we are doing. That's why the call for structures is not coming from the citizens. It's coming from other quislings who are not part of the process. But they want to be malcontents because they want to try and locate fault lines that are not there. The citizen movement is indivisible. Those who were used to splitting the opposition, tough luck. This time you are not going to be able to split us because the citizen movement can't be split. We want to continue to thank you, those who have been supporting us, and to say as we talk around the pillars that we are going to build around, we are going to develop what is called the volunteers movement. Every one of you must be able to come and show the kind of prosperity that we want to see. On the citizen program and on the citizen agenda, we want a volunteers program. Be a volunteer, be a supporter, be a backer, be a leader. We want to make sure that on the agenda number 1, we are coming to you to say, let us reason together. There is a vote that is coming. What do we need to see from you? We want to launch a campaign called 1+5. Every citizen, get 5 of your own, your relatives, in your community. Those who are in the diaspora, 1+5. Get your own 5 to be on the voters front, to come and support change. This is the new battalion of change, 1+5. Let us go to the 5 that you are going to bring to say, this is what I contributed to the citizen project. This is what I contributed to change, 1+5. We say 1+5. We want the 5 that you are bringing. We want the 5 that you are going to bring. Let us reason together. Let's have your 5 as a champion. Champion change in your community. Champion change in the nation. Wherever you are, where is your 5? Don't wait for Mr. Chamisa. Don't wait for citizen leaders. Don't wait for MPs. Wait for yourself. You have to bring us your 5. Where are the 5? 1+5. The volunteers program, a citizen campaign. The second pillar in terms of our agenda for this year is an agenda around choosing your citizen representative. For a long time, MPs have been foisted upon you. We have a new culture and a new tradition. We want citizens to choose their citizen representatives as MPs, as councillors, at various levels, even as president. We want a citizen president. We want citizen MPs. We want citizen councillors. For this to happen, we are going to change, and we've already started the process of radically transforming how we choose our candidates. Candidates are going to be chosen by you, not by leaders. By you, not by the leader. You in your community, tell us who is the best representative in terms of integrity, honor, accountability, accessibility, and also visibility. Don't choose people who are MPs as in missing person. Choose people who are always with you. MP is not missing person, it's member of parliament. They have to represent you in parliament. You have to choose these MPs who are visiting you, who work with you, those who have not been coming to, even if they want to pretend to be Triple C. We don't harbor any person who does not come from the people. Councillors must be people who are not corruptible. We have seen some who are corruptible. Those who are going to flush out and help us to flush out those who are corrupt. You see them. Wherever you see somebody who was walking on foot and now they are driving a car, they are a suspect. Deal with them. We want people who are able to have accountability as citizen representatives. That's my charge to you as citizens. Choose your MPs, community consensus candidates that are going to come from you. We've already developed a template, which template is a democratic, citizenocratic template that speaks to citizens at the center so that you choose your leader. Number 3 pillar, which is important, is defending the vote, securing our victory. Yes, we need polling agents, and we're already mobilizing, we've already finished mobilizing all the 11,000 plus polling stations that are supposed to be covered. So in the whole country, we need about 44,000 plus polling agents that are going to be in the various areas to make sure that we watch, we protect, we see. Citizens must all be their own protectors. Be an agent wherever you are. Let's all contribute. We don't want to repeat what happened in Nigeria, where people are shocked by their own vote. A vote must not shock those who have voted. A vote must shock those who have been voted out, as we are going to shock our colleagues in ZANU-PF. We have to protect and secure the vote. But of course I know that because of our faith, because of our action, we've done enough. I told you that ZANU-PF do not campaign, they command. They do not believe in campaigning, they believe in coercing. But we are different from them. We are preparing to win, they're preparing to rig. And that's why we have to counter their rigging. And once beaten, twice shy. I can assure you that we will not announce what we are going to do to baboons that have become troublesome. But I want to tell you that these baboons are not going to be troublesome anymore. This far and no further. Young people, you have a charge. Young people, you have a charge. Young people, you are the change. We need to mobilize to make sure that we defend our society. But of course we know that when God is in it, nothing can defeat us. And when I say God is in it, some people think that is a statement of being led back. Faith is action. And faith is a form of action. But there's also action that comes within that faith. I will share on the inauguration day the journey that I've walked. Because it's going to happen. Those who are in doubt, fair and fine, they are always Thomases. That's the norm of society. But know that change is coming. Change will happen in Zimbabwe. Victory is happening. We are celebrating, and some of us are already preparing for celebration and inauguration, because we know that change is going to come, and we want you to be part of this celebration by mobilizing for change, because change is going to come. God has remembered Zimbabwe. God is visiting Zimbabwe, and we shall be saved. We shall have change in this country. So the security of our victory is very important. Polling agents are critical. Observers are also very important. We have written to all the observer missions to also say, come and observe, because we want them to observe the situation and to make sure that there's no place that is left behind. We know that in the rural areas, they are going to try and frog march people. We must have peace monitors who are protecting peace in communities. Young people, this is your chance to provide peace for our parents. They must not be shambled or commandeered or frog marched into voting for an unpopular party like ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF counts on a coerced vote. They don't have the vote in this country. People have a clear choice. They want change. They support the citizens' movement, and we want that to be protected. Pillar number 4 is a citizen government. And of course, the citizen government speaks to your bread and butter issues, your food, your medicine, how we are going to address all the existential questions you have. How are we going to address the issue of hunger? Mr. Mugabe used to joke with me to say there are 3 F's in any society. And if you want to be toppled from power, you must neglect one of the F's. I said, what are they? He told me. He said, food, fuel, and forex. So we want to make sure that in a new government, we are able to deal with the 3 F's. But we have to show a new government blueprint. And we've already finished our new Zimbabwe blueprint, which is going to be an articulation of the agenda that we have to see. We have 5 pillars in that new Zimbabwe blueprint: restoration, reconstruction, transformation, modernization, and reconciliation. That's our humble suggestion to you, Zimbabwe. Support this plan, support this vision. This is what is going to make Zimbabwe a blessed land and a great land. I know that we are going to be victorious. Support the new Zimbabwe blueprint. Infrastructure is going to be our key deliverable. Seeking infrastructure. Everything else is kicking in. And we want to make sure that once we have done that, things are going to be okay. That is on the new Zimbabwe blueprint, and it's going to be launched very soon, and you will see. Some would say, but how soon? Strategically, when you are in a war, you don't announce the launching of a missile. Otherwise, you are arming your opponent. So don't ask us to arm our colleagues in ZANU-PF. They understand guerrilla tactics, so we are their customer. And we want them to understand that we will defeat them in their own backyard, in all their strategies, and of course, to be able to move very powerful. Last but not least, which is the last building block, is the issue of making sure that we globalize our agenda. Within SADC, they must understand that Zimbabwe is on the cusp of change. The AU, the United Nations. More importantly, those who are in the diaspora, we are mobilizing. We want those in the diaspora to support and anchor this, and we want to thank them. They've done a good job. Look at the diaspora remittance, 1.7 billion. That's huge, up from almost 1 billion. They are doing a fantastic job. Thank you, our citizens in the diaspora. It's a pity that this government is trying to deny you the right to vote. But once we become a government, there's going to be a diaspora. Once we become a government, we are also going to make sure that voter registration is automatic and digital. There's no need for people to be forced to come in queue. It must be done digital. But because we have a government that is archaic and analog, let us also be on that platform of analog. Let's be in the queues to register to vote and vote in our millions. That is the agenda we have, the 5 pillars that we are submitting. The details may not be given unto you, but I'm sure you have seen the broad parameters of what we are going to be running with this year. Now you know that there's a police that has been launched. I'm now appealing to Zimbabwe. Make sure that you are on the voters' roll. Register to vote. Don't say it doesn't count. It counts. That's why they are asking you. That's why they would want to beat you. Because they know that the vote counts. They know that the vote is so powerful. The new bullet is the ballot. The new gun is yourself. A citizen who is registered to vote. An unregistered citizen is a useless weapon. A registered citizen is an effective tool for nation building. Register as a citizen. Register to vote. Make a difference. Be counted. Don't say, no, this one, we are just wasting time. If you are able to waste time by spending 5 hours in a queue for a Zupco bus, please spare us. Just spend a day. Don't tell us that you don't have time, because you have time. You are waiting for a job and the jobs are not there. Please fix the problem and secure your job in one day. Secure your job in one day. Secure your health in one day. Secure your happiness in one day. Secure your freedom in one day. I urge you, make this security of your happiness and your difference in one day. Register as a voter. You have to be in a queue to end all other queues. You have to be in this line so that we end all other lines. If we are not going to join this line, lines are going to continue. The problems of 43 years cannot be resolved by a party that has caused the problems in 43 years. You need a new leader, a young leader, and I'm ready. Thank you for supporting fellow citizens. Thank you for working with us. Let us register to vote. This is our opportunity. This is our window. This is our moment. Let's make a difference. And as I always say, citizens of Zimbabwe, the time has come. This is the year of victory, the year of restoration. And I say, God is in it. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe. Let us go and mobilize for change in this country. I want to thank you. Thank you so much.
Step aside and let someone else lead. Then secondly, it's tied to the same person. How are you going
just to assure you, any time. You know, leadership is an opportunity to serve and not an opportunity to loot or to eat. So for men who are so fixated upon wanting to use positions as careers, for some of us, it is just an opportunity to serve. And if people do not want you to serve, why do you impose yourself? That is why I've been saying to Mr. Mnangagwa, if I were you, I would not even stand up for a candidate. The roads are reporting that you have failed. The hospitals are screaming. Everything in this country is pointing to your failure, including your own people in your own party. But you need a lot of humility to be able to have that kind of courage. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that courage.
Then my second part of the question is that with the time frames, elections definitely cannot go beyond August. We have got about 100 and something, just above 100 days. Do you think the citizens are able to have enough time to choose their leaders in that space of time? And how are you going to ensure that there is no infiltration that is going to speed the opposition?
You know, we are not talking about utopia. Citizens know each other in community. Citizens know their leaders. As I tell you right now, citizens in Mzaraba know who their leaders are. They know whom they are going to choose. The only thing is for us as leadership to allow for those candidates whom they are going to choose to be supported. Our perennial problem has been double candidates. We've made sure that right now and going forward, there's going to be strict mechanisms. I will not allow this process. If I am the candidate, I will not allow that process to be abused by malcontents who end up having to confuse the citizens. There will be one candidate per constituency representing us. We know ZANU-PF have been trying, they're so desperate. They come and sponsor surrogates to divide the vote. But this time, it's not going to happen. We're very clear, and citizens shall choose their leaders. And there's enough time. Citizens already know who they want. They've also assessed the current MPs, the current councillors. They know who is good, who is not. And I'm encouraging them not to go there and to be nice. Go and deal with all those who are delinquent. We want representatives of the people, MPs from the people. So yes, we have enough time.
Thank you, Mr. Msekura. Yes.
Okay, my name is Kumbai from ENC.
Unfortunate situation. We had requested our colleagues in South Africa, the South African government, to give some kind of a breathing space, because we have a very untenable situation in the country. But unfortunately, the situation is, we are encouraging Zimbabweans to also take this moment to end the shame and embarrassment. This harassment is unacceptable. We are almost like a pariah generation, a pariah nation in our neighboring countries. Yet we have 60 resources plus. We have a very rich country. We are very rich a country. Look at the money that is being stolen through corruption. Look at the Al Jazeera report, the snippets that have come out. You understand that there's a lot of money. Gold is everywhere. Diamond is everywhere. Wait, when we become a government, we will stop the looting. Everything is going to flourish. But we need to make sure that we fix it. How do we fix it? Help us to fix the problem. Come and register as voters. Even if you have not yet come back, come and register as voters. We want to make sure that every citizen is registered as a voter. Of course, we want to make sure that we achieve victory and victory for the people of Zimbabwe, particularly in the diaspora. Over 5 million citizens are in the diaspora. That's our expert, skilled and gifted people. We want them back to rebuild our country and to make Zimbabwe a wonderful and great country again. The police, yes, we have engaged the police several times. We continue to engage them. But we also know that the police's hands are tied. They try their best, but they are dealing with the manacles and shackles of a dictatorship. So we feel sorry for our police. It's not the police. You don't blame an instrument or the weapon. You blame the one who carries it and the one who commands it. One who is behind it, we know is my brother. He's afraid of an election. He's afraid of a fair fight. He wants to use all tricks, and we know what he's doing. But it's a fight, it's a struggle. That's why we are in a struggle. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be tough, but we are ready for it. Yes, they will ban us, but I can tell you that we can't be banned from the hearts of the citizens of Zimbabwe. Yes, they will stop our rallies, but we can't be stopped in appealing to the citizens of Zimbabwe. In fact, we are the next government. They know it. That's why they are panicking. But we've told them that we are not going to form an exclusive government. Ours is going to be a people's government, a citizens' government. You will also be part of it. I've said this over and over again. Mr. Mnangagwa, don't worry. We are not vindictive. We will make sure that you enjoy your farm and all the things we have already accumulated. You are a liberation war hero. We honor our liberation war heroes. We don't pursue them. I don't subscribe to vindictiveness. We want rapprochement, reconciliation, building our country. Yes, bygones must be dealt with, but we don't do it at the expense of the stability and unity of our country. Those are the things that are going to guide us so that we unite people. In fact, the future is very non-partisan. We are not going to be seeing parties in the future. We are going to see Zimbabwe. It's your ability, it's your integrity, it's your quality and content of your character and honor as a citizen that is going to define you, not the party card. Right now, if you want to have a claim to a mine, want to have a farm, you must carry a card of a party. That's reducing people in civilization. We don't want a party card for anything. No party card. If you want party cards, that's for your political party, but not for government. Government, you need a citizen card. Are you a citizen? You deserve to benefit from the facilities of government.
Yes, ma'am.
I said I engaged Mr. Mnangagwa, but I hear you, Ruto.
You've spoken about engaging the last time that you are if you manage to go to Scala and what is how is it
Thank you very much. I've managed to actually visit Scala by the courts. They've refused that I visit at Vermont prison. But there's always a way. Where there's will, there's a way. I'm the leader, I'm the father. You must take care of your children. Mr. Scala must be taken care of. And I've heard people say, oh, Mr. Chamisa is neglecting me. Scala is neglecting people. You don't blame the victim. The perpetrator is there. My wallet has been stolen. Instead of blaming me for being stupid, why don't we together deal with this, thief? That's where the problem is. Don't blame the victim. Don't victimize the victim. I'm equally as concerned and as worried. He is a foot soldier, and I would want him to be part of the battalion for change. He's not there. Why is he not there? Because he's been incarcerated. Why has he been incarcerated? Because of trumped up charges. Why trumped up charges? Because they were trying to trigger a certain line of events. But we're wiser. We don't fall for their traps. So yes, I've engaged. And Scala is worried. The last time I engaged him, I was telling me about how they've tried to say, no, it's your leader who is refusing to talk to us. If he talks to us, then yeah, we can deal with your release. That's what he told me. But look, I've told him that, look, we can bend backwards, but we don't break. Principles matter. We don't tamper with principles. They tried to buy us in parliament, and I told them, look, my duty is not to be in parliament. I'm not after honors, titles, and entitlement. I'm after the mandate I was given by God for this nation and by the citizens of Zimbabwe to deliver change, to transform the nation, and to make sure that we unite, unify, and pacify the nation. So yes, I've met Scala. And of course, he was in good spirit. He knows that persecution is but temporary. No persecution is ever permanent. It's just a season. It will come to end. And the dawn is coming. He knows that this is the darkest hour before dawn. Even if they don't want to release Scala, we will release him upon inauguration. That's how confident we are. Thank you, Ruben.
Yes, sir.
Well, I must say that competence is a subjective term. But the objective measure of competence is mainly by those who choose their leaders. And any nation, any generation gets the leaders they deserve. So if people choose a leader whom you think is not competent, we have a constitutional mechanism to also make sure that there is technocrats and meritocrats for certain of their positions. And you need technocrats for unelected and non-elected positions. But for elected positions, you don't necessarily need what you call competence. Competence is your ability to be connected to the people. The only school that's relevant in politics is the school called the people. If you are coming from the people, you are a graduate. That is the only competence. So yes, if the citizens qualify you and you graduate, yes, you are a graduate and you are qualified to serve. But when it comes to the technocratic competence, meritocracy, that is where we have to then get technocrats and experts to help our government. Ours is going to be a technocratic government because we'll have experts to help us in the economy, in engineering, in all the other specialized and skilled areas. That's how we are going to do it. So there's no contradiction. If anything, the citizen at the center is an amplification of competence. And you are judged competent by your own people who choose you. If people say Comrade Chinotimba is competent in Boera, who are you to say Comrade Chinotimba is not competent because of your own judgment? He has been chosen. Let the choosing and the choices be done by the citizens.
I think I'll take 2 more questions and then we'll end there. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yvonne.
I'm sure when there are no questions, I think it demonstrates clarity and appreciation. Thank you very much.
Yvonne Chaka, Zimbabwe Daily. We have noticed that there are technical challenges in terms of holding a free, fair and credible election. We have a shambolic delimitation report. We have no access to the voters' roll. What assurance do you have for the people that another 2018 is not going to happen? What message do you have for skeptical citizens who say elections are a waste of time?
I'm sure you were not there. You were late. I addressed that one, but I appreciate because it emphasizes that it's a dominant and a burning issue. In terms of the voters' flow, I've watched. You know, there are a lot of people who underestimate who we are and what we stand for. We have done a lot around the voters' flow. Over the past 5 years, we've been fighting around the voters' flow. We have evidence to what we have done. We have written to ZEC, we have received correspondence from ZEC, we have challenged them, we have even shown them where the gaps are. We even purchased the voters' flow in terms of the law. But I want to tell you that the voters' flow is supposed to be available ultimately in terms of Section 155 is read together with 156 of the Constitution, even Section 21 of the Act. So ultimately the voters' flow will come to us. All we wanted the voters' flow was to make sure that we're able to do forensic audit. Because in terms of the law, Section 21, subsection 7, it says that the voters' flow has to be searchable and analyzable. What does it mean? I was Minister of ICT. We must be able to go into that voters' flow, look at any tampering or any kind of manipulation. We know ZANU-PF right now are moving voters from the rural areas, taking them in the wards that are in the urban areas. You know why? Because they are used to cheating. They know that they will never get votes in the urban areas, so they want to get rural people to come and vote in the urban areas so that they can have councillors who are ZANU-PF representing rural people in urban areas. But we are aware of that, and that's why we have emphasized that on record we want the public document, the voters, so that we are able to audit it, to search it, and to analyze it. And we are not going to shake on this. It takes two to tango. So ZEC is just but a referee. There is no referee without the players. We are a player. And we know what we are doing. Mr. Mnangagwa is just but a player. There are times when we are going to draw a line in the sand and say, this far and no further. He cannot continue to dictate the rules of the game because he's also a player. ZEC must respect the law. And we are going to make sure that we analyze the voters' vote. And we will tell citizens about the voter. That's why we are saying, let's go and register to vote. Forget about the skepticism and the naysaying. Let's go and register to vote. Be on the voters' vote. We will deal with the other issues once you are on the voters' vote. If you are not on the voters' roll, you are not qualified to complain. If you are not on the voters' roll and a registered voter, you have not qualified to even say a word. Just shut up and keep quiet. If you are on the voters' roll, yes, you can tell us. So citizens, let's register to vote. It's not a wasted effort. It's an invested effort. Let us make sure that we register to vote. We have to be on the voters' roll. Right now we have about 6 million. Let's increase our number. Numbers are going to do the game. We will win by numbers. I was laughing, I got a report this morning that ZANU-PF are struggling. They were just writing people in the villages, and they think they have people in the cells. But they are realizing that when they go to say physically want to see the people, where are they? They are struggling. That's why they are in 6s and 7s. I even know that they don't want an election. My brother is even afraid of the election. They will try the courts, they will try all these things to try and avoid an election because they know that victory is imminent for the citizens. And please get ready for the celebration. Yvonne, thank you very much.
Given that there are no further questions, all that remains is for us to thank...
Just one more. Is there no other? One more question.
One more, Bernie. Yes?
Are there measures to ensure that the citizens are truly at the center of the candidate selection process?
That's why I'm giving the charge. The citizens, you are the police. The citizens, you have to take the charge. You, the citizens, are the ones who have to take charge. As the leader, I've shown the way. That is going to be your citizen candidate. If there is any imposition, resist it. You are the citizens. You are the guardians of our process. Let the citizens choose their own candidate. No imposition, no this, that leader, no big wigs. We don't have any big wigs because all of us are small wigs. We are a citizen movement. So we are a movement of small wigs. Big wigs belong elsewhere. So nobody is going to impose their will or march or flex their muscles because we are all together and we are one. Citizens at the center. Citizenocracy is our mantra. Thank you very much. God bless you.